Hello Kaiba fans and welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! Uncensored, the series where I break down how Yu-Gi-Oh! Changed from manga to sub and from sub to dub, or as I like to call it, from awesome to great and from great to trash. I love you poor kids, I really do. Episode 2 of the anime starts once again at school with Joey dueling Teiya this time. Teiya plays a Breath of Light spell card and destroys Joey's rock-type monster and wins. For those of you who wonder how Joey loses here, Breath of Light deals no damage to the opponent, but in Season 1, when a monster is destroyed by a card effect, the player takes damage equal to half the attack of the monster. Either this or this makes no sense. A little later, Joey asks Yuki why he can't win a duel, and Yuki asks to see Joey's deck and finds out that Joey's deck is filled with only monster cards. Yuki tells Joey that he also needs to balance his deck with spell cards to win, with Joey asking from Yuki to train him. So Yuki takes Joey to his grandpa for Duel Monsters training, and the dialogue in this scene plays differently depending on the version. In the dub, Solomon is skeptical about Joey's worthiness and determination needed to go through Solomon's hardcore training. This dialogue in the dub hides a major fact which is mentioned in the sub. Joey wants to learn how to play Duel Monsters in order to enter the upcoming Duel Monsters tournament. He doesn't say why he wants to enter, but we find out in the next episodes that he wants the prize money for his sister's surgery. This is important for Joey's character because it shows that Joey didn't pick up Duel Monsters just for fun, but rather because he wants to help his younger sister. In the dub, Joey says that he lost to Teiya 3 consecutive times, with Yugi responding that Joey actually lost to Teiya 5 consecutive times. This dialogue does not exist in the sub, as Yugi simply asks Joey as to why he needs Duel Monsters training all of a sudden.
Teiya beat me 3 games in a row. Actually, Teiya beat you 5 times in a row, Joey. 5?
今日はデュエルモンスターズの特訓に来たぜ。
でも、どうして急に熱心になったの？
え？
Also, the poster Solomon puts on the wall shows Celtic Guardian and Hercules Beetle in the sub, but in the dub, it would change to show Blackluster Soldier and Harpy's Pet Dragon, which of course is a reference to Yugi vs Mai later on in the season.
You do know what a trap card is, don't you?
Kinda. I have no idea.
Can't lie, I like these 4 kids. Fast forward to a little over a month in the sub, and in a specified amount of time in the dub, Yugi, Solomon, Joey, Teiya, and Tristan are gathered at Yugi's place to watch the tournament finals. In the dub, Joey simply says that he should have been the one dueling in the finals, with Solomon complimenting Joey about his progress at Duel Monsters. In the sub, we find out that Joey did in fact enter the tournament and that he reached the city semifinals.
ベスト8ってもさ、町内予選でだろ。特訓してくれたじいさんに合わせる顔がない。
わしがどうかしたか？
じいさん、ごめん。
なんの少年、立派なもんじゃ。
So the sub provides 2 important facts. 1. Joey, being a complete noob, made it to the semifinals in a local tournament, and 2. Duelist Kingdom was not his first major dueling experience. Solomon then gives Yugi a package, which was sent from Industrial Illusions. In the manga, the events play differently. Yugi agrees to train Joey personally, so along with Teiya, they go to Yugi's place after school. However, since Yugi is the one who will train Joey, there is no dialogue about training with Solomon. Instead, the Duel Monsters tournament final is going to take place during that same evening, so Solomon is closing the card shop early in order to watch the finals on TV. So Yugi, Joey, Teiya and Solomon all gather in front of the TV and wait for the finals to start. Solomon gives Yugi the package, but they don't find out who it's from until after the tournament finals. Also, in the sub and the manga, Joey asks Yuki why he didn't compete in the tournament. Yuki said that he decided to only enter a tournament when Kaiba does. In the dub, this dialogue is not present.
Is it possible they heard I beat the world champion?
As the tournament finals start, the dub announcer says that Rex is the #1 ranked duelist. But in the sub and the manga, the announcer simply tells the audience that Rex is 15 years old.
The #1 ranked Rex Raptor!
Weavile defeats Rex and becomes the champion, with Pegasus entering the stage in order to congratulate Weavile and give him his award. Also, why is Pegasus arriving from the basement in both the sub and the dub? In the manga, he simply walks in the room. Also,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
nice! Shortly after, we get a scene with Pegasus and his assistant in the car. In the sub, they simply talk about tournament contenders, but in the dub, Pegasus reveals his interest in duelists with Millennium items.
An event such as this will hopefully attract those who possess the Millennium items I seek.
トーナメントには私をワクワクさせてくれるようなデュエリストはいませんでした。
Yuki then opens a mysterious package to find a glove, 2 star chips, and a videotape. He plays a videotape where Pegasus appears and challenges Yugi to a video duel. In the anime, time freezes around Yugi, with Dub Pegasus saying that he'd transfer Yugi to the Shadow Realm. In the sub, there is no mention of Shadow Realm, as it's a dub-only concept. In the manga, Pegasus did no time-freezing magic, so Solomon, Teiya, and Joey are all spectators throughout this duel. The duel starts, and of course Yugi does his cheating fusion routine. Pegasus lets Yami know immediately that he knows what Yami's cards and strategies are, countering them with ease. As the duel goes on, Pegasus informs Yami about ancient Egypt and the Millennium items in the dub, but in the sub, he simply talks about how he wants Yugi to attend Duel's kingdom.
ユウが負けたら私の主催するイベントに参加してもらいます。
何？
それこそがデュエルモンスターズにおける真のキングオブデュエリストを決めるものなのです。
Also, in case you didn't know, Pegasus is American in sub, which leads to these phrases which I love.
Joke! It's a joke ね。Phew! Unbelievable!
So Yami's trying to figure out how Pegasus can read his hands. In the sub, he suspects hypnotism,
やつの魔力が暗示で相手を動かす催眠術みたいなものだとしたら。
whereas in the dub, he simply says that the Millennium Eye is how Pegasus can read his hand.
It's gotta have something to do with that weird eye of his.
Also,
But my Dark Magician is one of the strongest magic cards in the game.
the Dark Magician is not a magic card, it's a spellcaster type monster. Get your shit together, 4Kids! As a final attempt to win, Yugi summons the Summon Skull and attacks the game. But he runs out of time since Pegasus set a time limit for this video duel. Pegasus claims Solomon's soul as his prize in order to make Yugi compete in Duel's kingdom. And this is where the episode ends. Now in the manga, the duel plays out very differently. It shows us that the game of Duel Monsters was initially designed with more depth, as there are mechanics we never saw in the anime. For example, Pegasus often chose to counter Yami's cards with type matchups instead of attack points. He summoned Dragon Piper because fire types are strong against beast types, and he summoned Oscillo Hero because thunder types are strong against water types. When Yami's trying to figure out how Pegasus can read his hand, he asks Joey, Teiya, and Solomon to call out the first monster type that comes in their minds, with Teiya and Solomon both saying zombie type, just as Yuki predicted. Yami figures out that Pegasus added monster type frames in the video to function as subliminal messages against Yami. When Pegasus later summons the Faceless Mage, Solomon is worried despite its low attack points, as he explains that in Duel Monsters there are 4 spellcaster subtypes: Black, White, Demons, and Illusionists. Black magic, such as Dark Magician, is weak against Illusionists, such as the Faceless Mage. Also, Celtic Guardian is a level 6 in the manga. I don't know why. Also, the Summon Skull is a level 7. When Yugi summons the Summon Skull, he's confident that he will win, not because of attack points, but because of the subtype matchup, since demons are strong against illusionists. After Yugi runs out of time, Pegasus says, "If that battle had gone on, I would have lost. Or would I?" So it's unclear to us whether or not Pegasus had a trap that would prevent him from losing during that battle, but this wasn't found in the anime, it's a manga only thing. So Pegasus traps Solomon in the TV, essentially turning him into Rotom, and the episode ends here. Although this time, Teiya and Joey are completely aware of what happened during and after this duel. So this concludes the second episode of the anime. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next duel.